You know that feeling? You're interacting with an AI, it feels super smart, like theoretically brilliant,
Mhm.
but it's totally cut off from your actual world. Your files, your databases, the apps you use constantly.
Hmm.
It's like this genius stuck in a digital box, completely isolated.
The isolation, yeah, that's exactly the problem we're talking about. AI agents, they have incredible reasoning abilities, but um, getting them to actually use your specific data or trigger actions in your systems, that's always been a huge pain point. It meant writing custom code, unique integrations for almost every single connection.
Right, like if you have, say, 10 different AIs you want to use.
And maybe 20 different tools or databases
That's a
at
lot
that
of
point.
custom connectors to build.
Exactly. You're looking at this M times N integration nightmare, basically. M agents, N tools, M times N individual connections. It just doesn't scale.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit because that's where this thing called the Model Context Protocol, MCP, apparently comes in. The sources use this analogy. I really like think of MCP like a USB-C port, but for AI apps.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. Its whole purpose is to be that standard way for AI assistants to, plug into where your data and tools actually are.
A universal connector.
Pretty much. It creates this single standard layer for secure two-way communication. So instead of that M by N mess, you build one standard connection to MCP from your AI apps, that's your M side, and then one standard connection from each of your tools or data sources to these MCP servers, that's the N side.
Ah, okay, so the total number of connections becomes M plus N. Much, much simpler.
Radically simpler. That's the core idea, really, standardizing the action layer for AI.
Now, MCP was actually announced back in, what, November 2024? But it feels like it's just exploded recently, like early 2025. Everyone's talking about it. Why now? What's changed to cause this, sudden buzz?
Well, I think a couple of things kind of came together. First, AI systems that can actually break down tasks and act across different tools. People started calling them agentic workflows. That became a huge focus.
Right, making AIs that can do stuff, not just talk about it.
Exactly. But beating those agents, they immediately hit this massive bottleneck. How do you reliably connect them to real-world systems? And MCP showed up as like the perfect missing piece. It standardizes how these agents connect and interact with all those different tools and data
Okay,
sources.
so as the ambition for AI agents grew, the
Mhm.
need for this standardized plumbing like MCP just became super obvious.
Precisely. And then there's the community aspect. Adoption just took off. You had early adopters like Block, Apollo, Replit showing what it could do. And now there are thousands of these community-built MCP servers popping up for Google Drive, Slack, GitHub, databases like Postgres, even web browsers. You name it.
Wow, okay, so that network effect kicks in, making the standard more valuable the more people use it.
Yeah, it creates this momentum.
So we've got this standard architecture connecting AI clients to these tool or data servers. What can an MCP server actually expose? What does it let the AI do?
Okay, so the main things it exposes are generally called tools, prompts, resources, and sampling. Tools are the actual actions the AI can take. Things like fetch a file or search this database, maybe send Dane mail.
Got it. Actions and resources.
Resources are basically pointers, like URIs, to the specific data sources or objects the AI can work with. So like this document or that database table. And prompts are reusable instruction templates. The server can provide these to help guide the AI on how to structure its requests or use the tools correctly.
Okay, tools, resources, prompts. Makes sense. So what about sampling? That one sounds a bit different.
Sampling is, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It actually allows the tool server itself to ask the AI model to perform a completion based on context the server provides.
Wait, the tool asks the AI for help.
Kind of. It's key for workflows where the server needs the AI's reasoning power before it can properly use a tool or interpret data. Think about it. Maybe a database tool needs the AI to figure out how to translate a natural language question into SQL first. Or maybe it gets some unstructured text back from a query and uses sampling to ask the AI, hey, what does this actually mean, before sending a neat result back to the main AI agent.
Ah, I see. So it allows for a more nuanced back and forth between the tool and the AI's brain.
Exactly. All these capabilities, tools, resources, prompts, sampling, they work together to let the agent not just understand, but really interact.
It sounds incredibly powerful, moving AI from just, thinking about things to actively doing things in your digital space.
Yeah.
But connecting AI directly to potentially sensitive data always makes you pause. Is MCP some kind of silver bullet? Are there downsides or complexities we should be aware of?
That's a really important point. It definitely simplifies the integration part, elegantly even. But yeah, there are trade-offs. You now have the overhead of running and managing those MCP servers, especially if you want to connect to local data on your own machine. There are also challenges around like tool usability. Just because a tool is available via MCP doesn't mean the AI will automatically know the best way to use it effectively. Structured descriptions help, but it's not perfect.
So discoverability and effective use are still things to work on.
For sure. And like any new standard, you have to expect it's going to evolve. There will be updates, changes, and honestly, for really simple one-off tasks, sometimes just making a direct API call might still be easier than setting up the whole MCP layer. It's not magic.
Okay, so not a fix for absolutely everything, but a really crucial piece for building those more sophisticated multi-step AI agents. It's that standard action layer.
That's the way to think about it. It complements the AI's reasoning core.
So zooming out then, how does this really change the game for people building AI apps or even just, for us using them?
I think it fundamentally lowers the barrier. It makes it much easier to build AI systems that can actually perform complex tasks across different systems that don't normally talk to each other. It opens the door to really personalized assistants that can genuinely interact with your data, maybe through local servers you run. It standardizes how AI gets out of its box and starts doing things in your actual digital environment reliably and at scale.
From just thinking to actively doing.
That's the shift.
Okay, so here's the final thought I want to leave you, the listener, with today. As AI gets this more direct, standardized connection into your world, your personal files, your work apps, your data, maybe through things like MCP, how might that really change the way you interact with all your devices and information day to day? What new kinds of things does that actually make possible for you?